Now that Charles Bohr was in the eighth grade and he was older, and his younger sister Elizabeth was in kindergarten and she was 5, they went back with Mama and Papa to Forest Park and they visited Art Hill again. But this time it looked much smaller because Charles Bohr was much bigger. Patches was much older and much wiser. And so, as they were playing, Charles Bohr met a very peculiar potato, Carrington Spud, who could fly and had magical powers and was green and glowing and could um, do all kinds of things. And so he went and went to the history museum and saw the exhibits and went to the art museum and he saw another Jackson Pollock and he saw the blue paintings and this time he realized they were painted by a man named Picasso. And Picasso had lived in Spain, and he was an art teacher. And and Elizabeth said, "Mommy, aren't you an art teacher?" And Mommy had actually become an art teacher after she had gone back to college because she was very smart and intelligent. But she didn't need college to tell her that. She was a very intelligent, young, independent woman. And she was now in her 40s, and so was her geeky husband, who now had had a lot of dad jokes, and they were pretty lame, but Elizabeth really liked him and loved him, and so did Charles Bohr Jr. So they were off playing with Carrington Spud in Forest Park, and they came to a portal, a portal in space time. And so they decided to go through the portal and they had to battle a giant wizard, dragon knight pirate who was defeated by Charles Bohr and Carrington Spud and Patches the cat and Elizabeth. And Patches the cat um, clawed him to death, and Carrington Spud used magical fairy dust and green glow, to destroy the thing. And so they hopped into the portal and they actually went to Jupiter. And this time they met the Emperor. And the Emperor was this big man and he had a rough voice. And he said, "My boy, what do you want from me? I'll give you 3 wishes." And so, Charles Bohr said, "I would like an ice cream cone, a grape Fanta, and a turkey sandwich." And so he got all 3 things. And so when he went back home, he was standing on Art Hill, and Mama and Papa were like, "Hey, where'd you get the turkey sandwich?" And he was like, "The Emperor gave it to me." And they were a little concerned, but they understood that Charles had a very articulate imagination. And so they figured that he just kept his lunch money from school and went and bought a sandwich at the cafeteria in the art museum. And so they went back home, and Patches the cat and Carrington Spud slept in the nook, and Elizabeth went to her bed, and so did Mama and Papa and Charles Bohr. And they went back to Jupiter every now and then through the portal in Forest Park to play games with the locals who lived in Jupiter in the Empire, and they would play games like Choo Choo and Cha Cha, and um, they would blow things up to make cool sound effects for the film they were working on. And they were making a film about Johnny Appleseed. And so, yeah, it was a cool film, and it worked out pretty good, and it was an awesome film. And the people of the Empire of Jupiter loved it, and they were called Jupiterians, and the Jupiterians were a very odd folk because they all were very smart, and they were like little professors, just like somebody with Asperger's. And so it was a wonderful day when they got back from the film, and they went to school, and then there was summer break, and Charles Bohr and Patches the cat and Elizabeth and Carrington Spud decided one day that they were going to visit the Milky Way. And so they visited the Milky Way, and they met a giant space spider, and they had to battle it with a sword, and they had to enlist the help of the Empire of Jupiter and the Jupiterians. And so there was a great war between the Jupiterians and the spiders, the space spiders, and then out of nowhere came these robots from a distant land, and they saved everybody. And that's how this episode ends. See you next time. Bye.